Hello, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears so I can make you happy while you listen to Should I Watch That? I am Janet.
And I'm Rachel the Roman, I guess, and country woman. I wasn't expecting that.
I don't know. Just trying to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
So you're looking beautiful tonight, Rachel.
As are you, darling.
No, why, thank you so much, very much.
And
Okay.
go ahead.
Yes. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say today we're going to talk about the Netflix show The Hunting Wives. Do you want me to get
Breaking
into
the internet.
Yes.
Breaking the everybody is telling me, oh my God, have you seen it?
Oh my
Of
God.
course I've seen it.
Yes, we've seen it. And we're going to talk about it. Okay,
Tell me all
I
about
will. I'll give the description here. So it is an 8-episode series that dropped in July 2025, and it's adapted from May Cobb's 2021 best-selling novel, which I never read, but apparently it's good because they made a show out of it. So the premise of the show, Sophie O'Neill, who is played by Brittany Snow, is a former PR executive and Boston transplant, and she moves with her husband to a small East Texas town called Maplebrook. She's drawn into the glamorous and mysterious orbit of Margot Banks, played by Malin Ackerman, and she is Sophie's husband's boss's wife.
Good one. Good. Very good. Yep.
So she gets pulled into Margot's orbit and her exclusive all-female clique called the Hunting Wives. What starts as cocktails and skeet shooting quickly spirals into obsession, seduction, and scandal, culminating in a shocking murder when a local teen, Abby, is found dead in the woods where the clique meets.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
And we
I
will
would
try.
summarize. Oh, yeah. No.
I was just going to say, we're going to try not to give too many spoilers, but obviously there is a murder, so that won't be a spoiler. But go ahead, Janet.
I would summarize this one as trust no one, even if they offer you alcohol, drugs, and sex. That was kind of my takeaway.
Sure. I mean, but those are,
Yeah.
I would argue the people offering you those things are the least trustworthy.
Exactly. So trust no one.
Yeah.
So do you remember Malin Ackerman? Did you ever see The Watchmen? I bet this was easily 10 years ago.
I did not see The Watchmen, but I've seen her in other things. I just can't think of what I've seen her in.
Yeah, well, I just remember her and for those of you who know everything about The Watchmen, don't judge. But she was the girlfriend of the big blue guy.
The big blue guy, okay.
Doctor, somebody, probably, whatever. But I looked at the other stuff that she's been in, and I recognized some of it, but didn't specifically remember her being in it. But I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen her in anything. And the same for Brittany Snow. Immediately, I was like, oh, yeah, her. But then I look back at the stuff she's done, and I don't recall her. So either I don't pay good attention. I don't know. But very famous faces.
Yeah, I could agree with that. They famous faces, but not pinpointable, at least for my small, insignificant brain. I know my point is, I think your point is too, Janet. We've seen them in other things, but we could not immediately recall what those other things were.
Right. So,
but there were other. I thought that the cast was good and they did a really good job. Some of the other folks in it were Evan Jonagit, I don't know, as Graham O'Neill, that's Sophie's husband, and I've seen him in other things as well. Then you had Dermot Mulroney, as Jed Banks, who's Margot's husband, and he's an oil tycoon, and he starts to run for governor of Texas. You've
He
got go ahead.
he also did, I don't know, a season maybe of New Girl. I don't know if
Oh,
you ever watched that.
I did.
Um, yeah, but
He
he was the dad of one of the kids in her class, and they had a fling or something on New
oh,
Girl. That's the most what I remember him from.
oh. Well, he's been
Anyway,
in a lot of stuff.
yeah.
Then you've got Jamie Ray Newman as Callie. She's the sheriff's wife. You got Katie Lowe's as Jill. Chrissy Metz as Star. She's
Mhm.
the single mom and mother of Madison Wolfe, who plays Abby, who is the teenage girl that gets murdered.
Mhm.
And there's also some scandal because Katie Lowe's, who plays Jill, Jill has a teenage son who is dating Abby, the teenager. Spoiler, Jill's son is also hooking up with Margot, which is gross because he's in high school and
Yes.
Margot is a grown adult woman who is friends with his mother. So,
Who should
ooh,
know better?
barf.
Maybe. You think?
She should definitely know better. But okay, the queer elephant in the room, I think, with this show is all
Mhm.
of the queer undertones, and that is a big theme
Mhm.
in it. A lot of these ladies are hooking up, and um, which is fantastic. But I think it also kind of harkens back to like conservative South and not being able to live your authentic life. You have to pretend that you're a straight lady, even if you want to be with a woman, um, because that is the culture and the environment that you're in, especially in, I would,
Mhm.
in Texas for sure, barf. Um, so I
Well,
know that kind of the queer relationships that happen in the show, not just like girl on girl, but like the sheriff, him and his wife, they've got some very interesting dynamics going
mhm.
on. He's like the sheriff is this big, like manly, like raw guy,
Mhm.
but he's definitely got some queer tendencies that you see. Um, but yeah, I thought it was very interesting how they portrayed that, how it came across. Definitely gave some visibility to queer relationships, which I thought was
Mhm.
great, but also kind of the closeting aspect of it.
So my takeaway was that it was like they were so wealthy and they were in these positions of power in the community, as it were, and you
Hmm.
had to keep up appearances.
Yes.
But it's okay if you're a woman and you have sex with another woman,
Hmm.
but it's not okay if you have sex with another man. So you can quote cheat on your husband with a woman and it's not cheating, but if you did it with another man, that would be a problem. And like they were bored and rich, and what
Yeah.
else are you going to do? So why not give it a shot? So I couldn't tell if Margot really was leaning that direction or she was just unsatisfied in her marriage and bored and could basically do whatever she wanted to do and decided to, you know,
Hmm.
switch from Pepsi to Coke or whatever, as it were. And all of that to say, all of that to say, there are several episodes that are not safe for family viewing,
Oh,
so I
none of
wouldn't
them.
suggest don't
No.
gather the kids around the TV
Mm-mm.
to watch
No.
this.
Absolutely
Just
not.
heads up,
No
heads up.
children should be
No
watching.
children.
Um, I would say Margot's character was very complex. Her brother, there's a character that plays her, that is her brother in the show, and I'm blanking on his character's name at this,
Can't remember. Yeah.
whatever his name is. But he, where Margot has married this very wealthy, successful man, she's living this very wealthy, successful life. Her brother is kind of like a drug addict, like living in a trailer, which
No
it
money.
no money, which turns out she came from that same background, like, and it was always the two of them, like against the world kind of thing. Um, and you kind of learn through some backstory that Margot has always used sexuality and her physical attractiveness to get what she wants. Um, so that was the part for me that I was like, are any of, to your point, Janet,
Mhm.
are any of her relationships authentic? Or is she just using uh, her sexuality to manipulate the people around her? Because, I mean, Sophie, they become close and start hooking up,
Mhm.
and then, you know, things and things. And it seems like I kind of went back and forth, like whether or not she was actually into Sophie or she was just sort of using her. What are your thoughts on her and Sophie?
So I think Margot is her character. She's one of those who kind of collects people,
Mhm.
and it was clear to see she was kind of the top of the food chain in this girl group, the
Yes.
wives club that they were in. And Sophie was comes across initially as very timid and some anxiety, obviously, and you learn a little bit more about her backstory as to why she's so stressed.
Yeah.
Um, but Margot was immediately like, "Oh, come here, little baby bear cub. I will take care of you."
Yeah.
And she pushes her to try new things and get out there. And I feel like initially she's kind of a project for Margot.
Yeah.
Well, come in and see how we do it around, see how we do it, see how much fun you could have or whatever. Um, I, her emotions later on seem sincere, but she's lied to so many people the whole
Yeah.
time that you know, again, trust no one. So I think she was just using everybody around her because she was an incredibly unhappy, bored woman with really no purpose in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good summation. It seems like she needed to use manipulation and all of that to get to where she was, like with her husband and being wealthy. But once she got there, it seemed like it was just for fun. It was no longer for
Hmm.
survival. Because, they
Right.
do show in the backstory with her and her brother. Their mom, I think, was gone. She had to go.
Hmm.
Either, I don't
Hmm.
remember if it was whatever happened to their mother. So her and her brother kind of had to take care of themselves and take care of each other, kind of thing. So I feel like at that point it was definitely survival, but now here she is, this rich lady. Why are you messing with these people?
I
you know?
know
To your point,
that.
it's like the boredom thing.
Hmm. And it was, I don't, it seemed really obvious. Like they all seemed so fake that it makes you wonder why Sophie would be interested in that. And because they bring her along to go hunting, to go drinking, to go dancing. They're all in the same church every Sunday, no matter what else they're doing on the side. And I guess like I feel like Sophie was very isolated and scared and sad and just kind of got pulled in by the popular girls.
Yeah. Um yeah, and I think they took her under their wing or whatever. What I didn't like is that they violated her boundaries.
Mhm.
And I feel like Margot did that especially because Margot recognized pretty quickly that Sophie was attracted to her. And there's
Mhm.
backstory that Sophie had had a previous relationship before her husband with a woman.
Mhm.
So, is Sophie actually gay and she just married a man because she thought she had to, kind of thing? So that kind of
Yeah.
played out. And I thought that it was really shitty that Margot, it's revealed that Sophie is sober because she
Mhm.
had had an incident, a drunk driving incident. Um, So she's sober, but Margot, like, reels her in and manipulates
Mhm.
her and gets her to drink again and gets her to start taking drugs and, like and just, like, blows throws a grenade in her life. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of horrible person are you? And also horrible friend, okay? You're
Mhm.
just terrible. I mean, Margot's the villain in this show.
Yeah. And and again, like, what kinda back to my point, she wanted a new toy to play with, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
"Let's see what we can do with this one,"
Mhm.
because all of her other friends knew what she was like, so now she's like, "Oh, here's someone new, a new
Yeah.
shiny toy to play with and see how we can mess it up," you know? I
Mhm.
really didn't. But then on the other hand, it makes you think there's part of Sophie that wanted that wild and that out of control and that something because you got the feeling that she'd been buttoned up and suppressed and anxiety ridden for so long since the
Yeah.
incident. And now she's raising a child and moving to a new place and needs to be the perfect little wife for her husband's success in his job. So it also makes you think she didn't fight it along the way
No,
as
she
hard as
didn't.
maybe yeah. So, mm,
Because I think you're right. I mean, while Margot was a negative influence on her, I think she did want to, like, let her hair down or whatever,
mhm.
to your point. So, there was definitely some things going on going on there. Uh, and I don't know. I think she kind of is trying to find herself too, Sophie,
Mhm.
and, her husband and, like, what's going on with their relationship and her kid, and there's a lot of things, a lot of stuff going on in this show for sure.
Like, there's a lot of there's probably a more educated sounding word, a lot of fakeness. Like, everybody was
Yes.
just so fake. And even if they were having a good time in the moment, you still know that it's all for show. It's
Yeah.
all about the big house. It's all about the money and, your son being the quarterback on the football team and blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
It's all about that. And there's no substance. And there's a severe lack of transparency in these relationships. Like,
Yeah.
that was my last bullet in my notes. Lots of drama, poor decision making, and a lack of transparency. But then again, it wouldn't have we wouldn't have a show if those things had come into play. So,
Correct.
um,
And I know that this
yeah.
is a dramatization, clearly. I know that this is not real life, okay? But I do always wonder when I watch shows like this, it's based on something. Like, how much like
True. Mhm.
how much of this conniving and manipulating plays out in, like, these real life wealthy circles? I'd really like to know because, I mean, just look at the Real Housewives shows and series.
Mhm.
The not the show, but the documentary series, right?
Mhm.
Those women are at each other's throats at all time. It's like, how exhausting. My god.
Yes.
Is this how
And
it really is for their lives? Like, oh, I get stressed out just watching it. I'm like, what are y'all doing? You could just be sipping pina coladas.
on a beach somewhere. Well, and if you have to work that hard to be a certain way and look a certain way and sound a certain way, like, you're not being yourself. And if you can't be yourself, that's exhausting. If you're trying to always pretend you're
Exhausting.
somebody else, I don't have time for that.
I don't either, but uh, that's
I
what I
mean,
always think about when I
oh,
watch shows like this is like, God, I'm exhausted just watching you. Like
I
going from my couch to my fridge and back is tiring. How are y'all doing all of this?
know. Well, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't like to maybe live the life of someone who has $20 million for a week and just see what it's like.
Or
But
forever?
or forever. But I also think I would not be well liked because like I have no patience for, oh well, she's wearing Dior. I don't
Yeah.
care. How
Yeah,
much
yeah,
money
yeah.
did she waste on that? Do you know how much money that Dior gown, if you had put it toward I don't know, maybe a homeless shelter. Do you know how many people you could have fed? So, like, I
I
wouldn't
th-
fit
I think
in.
those things too. Same. Yes, I would like to have all the Benjamins in my bank account.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
would like to be all about the Benjamins, baby, but uh
Not about the drama.
I would still be frugal. Um you know what? Something else I wanted to talk about was the dynamic between Jill and her son, who
Mhm.
turns out is hooking up with Margot. So he's like a high school football player, like really good and stuff. And his mother is a psychopath, but it reminds me of my own mother with my brother. And
Really?
I really think about these dynamics that women have with their sons. And before I go into more, you tell me what you thought of their relationship.
I my take was that she had no relationship with her husband.
Yeah.
The only thing important to her in her life was her son. She had no other purpose besides him, and instead of getting a part-time job and, I don't know, doing things in the community and whatever, she focused 99% of her being
Yes.
into doting on and checking in with and pushing her son to do this and do that and babying him. And again, I don't have human children, so therefore this is just my opinion. But yeah, you're like, sweetheart, first find a different hairdresser, because what was up with that dude that she had the whole time? And
I
like,
didn't even think about that.
go go get a life.
Mhm.
And still you can still love your kid and have a life outside of that. But again, before this whole podcast, we had a conversation about baby bear cubs and how if I had a baby bear cub, I would ignore everything in my life to cuddle the poop out of that baby bear cub until it was a 400-pound bear that killed me. So, again, take my opinions for what they are, just opinions, because, you know. So, what was
Well,
your take on it?
so okay, your first point that you said, because her and
Hmm.
her husband did not have, like, I don't know, a strong relationship, at least not that they
Hmm.
portrayed in the show.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes those lines blur between mother and son.
Hmm.
And the son, and in this instance, he's used as an emotional substitution,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
And there's a scene where she's giving birth to him. Okay. They
Hmm.
show her giving birth to him. And then
Hmm.
the nurse is like, okay, breastfeed him now. And she's like, what? And she's like, no one's ever touched my breast before. A- And my eyes about bugged out of my head. So she puts the baby onto her breast. And that's like, there were a lot of things happening in that scene, but I was like,
Yeah.
wow. So it kind of, and the husband is a preacher. So it kind of all played into like the kind of chasteness of
Hmm.
Christianity and not being able to explore your sexuality with your partner.
Hmm.
So then you are using your son as almost a physical and emotional substitute, which is gross and weird.
Yes.
Um, but that also like leads her to be like super overprotective of him and like really kind of sees him as this like golden child who can do no wrong, and like she's
Mhm.
doing everything in her power and scheming to protect him throughout the show, and like
Yeah.
it just ugh.
And and back to the
mothers
giving birth.
mothers
Uh,
of
go
wait,
ahead.
I just want to say this,
Yeah.
mothers of
Mhm.
sons, please stop doing this. it's it's weird and gross, and it affects these men's romantic relationships and their independence and their identity. So you need to stop fucking up your sons, okay?
Yeah. I
I'm
I would
date
agree with you.
I'm dating
P
those sons, Janet, and they are not fun to date, okay? So go ahead.
This is called Janet and Rachel Bring You a Public Service Announcement.
Yes.
Dear mothers.
Dear mothers.
Um, Back to the giving birth part. Like, and the surprise on her face. Like, did it never occur to her that if you deliver a child out of your body, that maybe you should be the one to feed the baby unless there's a significant problem and you have to switch to formula for whatever reason? Like, did she never think that was going to happen?
I
That
don't
was very
know.
confusing.
Yeah,
That was
but
very confusing.
but I think the point of that scene was to show that weird emotional connection that
Mhm.
she forged with him from the beginning.
Yeah.
And there's
And
like and if you look on the interwebs, and I've seen this on the social medias, like videos where women talk about their sons almost like, "Hey, if he wasn't my son, I'd be fucking him."
oh
Like,
my god. Like,
it's r
that's no. Absolutely
ugh.
not. That's disgusting.
Yes, it's so
That's absolutely
strange,
so disgusting. Like, if
and
your husband said the same thing about your daughter, what would you think?
mm-mm, pedophilia.
Pedophile, no, you can't go there. You can't even say that.
Jail,
And
divorce,
if you and if you think about it, you need to go talk to a professional to help you understand why you have
please.
these feelings and how
Yes,
you can change your life.
and why are you getting on the internet saying it? Like, oh,
I know,
anyways,
don't say it out loud. Anyway.
ugh, bleh, go to therapy.
But
Anyways, so those were some of the creepy thing, which showed, right? These are showing these impacts to him are showing in his relationship with Abby, the teenage girl, who
Mhm.
is she is like very religious and there's a pastor and the creepy pastor. There's a whole lot of things going on in this show. The
There's a
pedophile
lot of
pastor
creepy.
is a lot too. But
Mhm.
there's pedophile pastors all over the place, so
It's not like
we
that's new.
yeah, exactly. We won't even get started down that road. But I'm saying
That's
you
a
s-
completely different movie. Yeah.
good grief. And I mean it ends up being a big part of the show, but anyways, I, back to Jill and her son. He's
Mhm.
dating Abby. Abby's super religious, but he like convinces her to have sex with him, and like you can tell that she doesn't really want to because of the religion thing. Like so and he gets very angry at her. He seems kind of controlling. So, I mean, you're seeing the impact of how his mother treated him play out in
Mhm.
his relationship in real time in the show.
Mhm.
So
But
again,
then
mothers, stop doing this to your sons. They go into the world.
but then, like, he's pushing and guilting Abby into it, but then he can go over and see Margot and pretty much get it anytime he wants.
Yes.
And, like, that it's so unhealthy. I mean,
Extremely
if you're a
unhealthy.
17-year-old boy, maybe that's, like, your dream come true, but from an adult perspective, not healthy,
Okay, and you
not
know what's
healthy.
interesting too? As a teenage boy, he's going to do it with anyone that's offering. Okay. I dated a guy in my 20s and he used to brag about hooking up with one of his teachers in high school.
Mm,
Gross.
really?
Super duper gross.
R
But because
Ew.
he was a boy and she was a girl, it's like those kind of it's similar dynamics there. So I'm just
Okay,
saying this
yeah.
happens and my skin is crawling. My skin was
Mhm,
crawling.
mhm.
Every time Margot was hooking up with the son, I was like, ew, ew,
Ugh.
ew, ew, like
Were you making
e-
those actual noises when it was yeah,
in my
I
head,
bet you were.
yes.
Yeah, mhm,
Even though my brain knows that this is a grown man pretending to be a teenager in the show, still.
mhm.
But anyways, that's my 2 cents on their dynamic there, and I feel like that was a big theme in the show, just which also
Yeah,
relates to the real world. It just, they did a good job.
mhm. There's just so much and I understand, it is not real, it is television, it is a drama, but there's just so much lying and faking and
Mhm.
pretending and not being honest with yourself and knowing that you're not being honest with yourself, but refusing to do anything to sort that out and make yourself a better person for the people in your life. And it was just, it was a
Yes.
lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot. And I guess just like in real life, you're like screaming at the characters, "Don't do that. That's so stupid." But I feel like I
Hmm.
do that for people in my own life too. Like, stop making these
No.
stupid decisions. I'm sure people think that about me as well, some of the decisions I make, but I'm just saying to a
Well, it's
lesser
always
degree.
easier when you're on the outside looking in. You see things
Mhm.
2020, I
Exact
suppose, from your own
exactly.
perspective at least. But
Yes.
yeah.
Are there any
All
other,
right.
like, themes in the show that you would like to discuss, or scenes, or what relationships?
I I also like the okay, so the first night that Sophie went out with the girls, they were at
Mhm.
this club,
Mhm.
and one of the other high school football players
Mhm.
noticed her, and he was like, "How you doing?" And she was just like, "I'm sorry, what?" And
Yes.
of course Margot is like, basically, you should hit that.
Yes.
You could tell he likes you. You should hit that. And I'm like, what kind of woman encourages another woman to have sex with an underage male? I just, again, I guess it just plays into everything we just talked about, but like,
Mhm.
it's not just like, here's some alcohol, let's dance. What about some cocaine? That would be fun. Oh, you want to get naked? Oh, by the way,
Here's some
football
light
players checking
pedophilia.
you out. Yeah, football players checking you out. Why don't you go hit that in the girls' room or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Booze, coke, pedophilia, let's go. Like,
Fun for
what?
the whole family,
Yeah.
literally.
God, we
I don't
got everything.
know.
But I mean, if you think about it, look at like our current events, all of the Epstein stuff happening right
Mhm.
now. Men have been doing those things for all eternity. I would say women to a lesser degree. So to kind of see the tables flipped was disgusting, but not as disgusting. But we're sitting here talking about it.
Mhm.
You
Exactly.
know, I don't think there's any men on a podcast talking about how gross Lolita was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which,
Yeah.
okay, we won't get into it, but Lolita was based on a true story of a girl that got kidnapped. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Okay, well,
Hmm.
we should maybe talk about that another time. But I'm just saying
Okay. Just saying.
it seemed relevant at this moment. But yeah,
All right.
so we didn't want to get too much into a lot of the goings on in this
Mhm.
show, because we didn't want to give spoilers, but there are definitely some pearl clutching moments. There's some,
Mhm.
oh my God, did that just happen moments.
Mhm.
So
There
Janet,
K well, and for me, there were also a few, "Oh my god, like, why in the world would you ever think that was a smart decision?" moments too, so
correct. Yes,
it
lots of
gives you
those.
everything. Yeah.
So Janet, to say that, would you recommend that our listeners watch this show, The Hunting Wives?
No.
Oh,
My vote is no. I think
okay.
it was just a lot of, drama, betrayal, nothing new, they just threw in a couple of women having sex to spice it up, maybe, I don't know, to get some it was just no, I didn't feel it. I
Yeah.
wanted to see how it ended, but that doesn't mean I necessarily enjoyed it. So,
Okay.
that's my vote.
Fair.
Rachel, should I
Yes.
watch that?
I would say yes.
Mhm.
I would give a yes
Yeah.
because I did think it was entertaining,
Mhm.
and all of the twists and turns, I was I was there for it. But to your point, there was a lot of scheming, which is annoying.
Yeah.
But it keeps you locked in, doesn't it? And there was also a cliffhanger, literally and figuratively, in the last episode. So I do believe they will be coming out with another season.
I'm
So
sure.
I I would be interested to see kind of what happens next, but I think it's interesting like how much chatter there was about the show based on the women hooking up.
Mhm.
Um, lots of pearl clutching again. Like, oh my God, they're, whatever.
Mhm.
So I think a mainstream show showing queer people being queer was awesome. Um,
Mhm.
and overall it was entertaining. So I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Look. Ooh, differing opinions.
How
Ah,
dare we?
drama on the podcast. So.
Literally no drama.
Literally no drama.
We, yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. The
Well, there you
Hunting
go. That was
Wives. You're
Netflix.
informed. Make
Mhm.
decisions. Make good choices.
Or don't.
Or don't. And let us know what you think. Email us if you have a strong opinion. We'd love to get emails. We
Uh-huh.
haven't gotten any yet, so we're very excited about that first one that's going to come in one day. So
Please,
bring it on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody email us, please.
Somebody. Somebody email us.
But
Let us know you listen.
before you email us, pop some popcorn, go watch
Mhm.
this crazy show, or don't,
Or
and
don't.
then tell us what you think.
All right. Hey, Rachel, roll the
What?
credits.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye. This episode was produced by Ryan Myrick.
Follow us on Instagram at Should I Watch That 25 and on Facebook at Should I Watch That.
Email us at shouldIwatchthat25@gmail.com.
Like, follow, and review wherever you listen to us.
Or wherever you cast your pods. Thanks.
Thank you.